Brian, you heard Kayshon Boutte there say, pretty lazy play by the cornerback, but there's a schematic element too that I know you felt was critical to Drake May being able to find Boutte deep down the field for this score. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is one of the most classic plays in the Patriots offense. Remember that throw Tom Brady to Troy Brown in the first Super Bowl and that 2-minute drive? This was the play.
How could you forget?
Now, it's changed from time to time, and the numbers have changed, but what it is one of these main go-to plays in a 2-minute drive. You got a 3-by-1 set, you bring Boutte down into a closer split, and what Drake's seeing pre-snap is he's seeing a cover 4 look, right? So that's the shell, and as a quarterback, we're always taught in 3-by-1, this is going to be your key. So that's who his eyes are going to be on in this set before the ball is snapped. Now, once the ball is snapped, we're going to see in cover 4 sometimes an adjustment by the defense. We call it 4 push because there's only a single receiver backside, and the tailback's not really a threat to go deep. So he'll come over to help to the 3-man side. So if you get that, that's kind of the key to maybe go backside to this post route that we're going to see Drake throw. A really good job of him keeping his eyes on his keys. Then we're going to go back. What do you need to throw the deep ball? You need protection, right? And Josh is better than any coordinator I've been around with pairing protection with route. And what he does here, he gets a slam by the tight end on the defensive end. He ends his rush. He gets a jam over here with Rhamondre on the defensive end, ends his rush. Okay, so you're going to help the tackles. And then the Patriots in this protection system notoriously known for having a great pocket in the middle, going back to Dante Scarnecchia, protect the middle. And what this allows Drake to do is just get a drop, be in rhythm, and watch his read.
And you're going to be able to see him as we play this video a little bit more. He's eventually going to step up in the pocket and rip this thing like a javelin down the field. But what is he watching, Brian? What's the critical read for him on this play?
Yeah, like I said, in this 3-by-1, we always key this backside safety because he's going to tell you what the coverage is, right? Linebackers can lie, corners can lie, but the safety's got to tell you the truth. And so the moment he sees him get level and start to push to Pop Douglas on this in cut, he knows he has that whole area of field to throw with. And man, it was a beautiful ball.
And just unbelievable aggressiveness, too. Remember, the situation is this is 2-minute. You could play it safe. You could be conservative, go for the field goal. He says, no. That safety's coming down on Pop Douglas. I got Kayshon for 6. Let me go and hammer this thing.
And I thought it was so funny. I texted Jason McCourty today. He was on the call right before this play. He's like, look, Josh is going to go for the last shot. They're going to take their time. Boom, touchdown, 52 yards in the air. But sometimes when it's there, you have to take it. As a quarterback, sometimes you can lull yourself to sleep. They're not going to give it to me. This, to me, tells that Drake is going through the reads. He's reading the right keys, and he's letting it rip when he sees what the defense gives him. It was a beautiful throw, 52 yards in the air, and an even more beautiful catch.
And when they are drawing up a deep shot like this, Brian, what's the coaching point in terms of where should this football be? I mean, he had a lot of room to work, and it looks like he just decided to throw this thing right down the hashes there, and Boutte was able to run under it.
That's the easiest way, and we heard Boutte say, it was a lazy play by the corner. Well, the corner has to realize in 4 push, it turns into a one-on-one. I can't have him get easy inside access, but ideally you throw it right down the hash. So Drake's on the hash. Let me just throw it straight down the hash, let him run underneath it. Worst case scenario, you could always throw it over more to this field if that corner was a little tight, but we didn't need that right here.
You thought when he ripped it initially, maybe just a hair too long for Kayshon Boutte. Great catch by the young receiver. Great throw from Drake May. He has been phenomenal deep down the field. All right, we're back here for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow, and we have to break down one of these run plays. Brian, it was very clear they wanted to make sure they could establish, maybe for themselves, that they could run the football effectively. And so we said, why not look at the very first run of the game for Rhamondre Stevenson? He ripped off so many big chunks on that very first drive in Nashville. And we've got bend, quote unquote, breaks the Titans. I know you like this bend concept in the run game for the Patriots. You've had to handle it before. Tell us how it works.
Well, look, I knew the Mike points in the run game, but I had to check with my podcast teammate, David Andrews. He knows the running game better than anybody else. But you're right. They came out with the mindset that they wanted to run the football. And I think that was almost a message that wanted to be sent to the Titans. And they line up in this formation, which off the bat, I thought it was 12 personnel. But, oh, no, look, it's actually Mac Hollins who's playing the F tight end position. He's got the size. What that allows you to do is get a nickel corner in here at the Sam linebacker spot as opposed to getting their base defense out there. What they're going to do, and we see a lot of the times the Patriots run weak side, inside zone, but we also see them run front side duo or gap scheme plays, and they kind of married the two together to get the defense flowing a little bit. So you're going to see initially Rhamondre goes left, Drake reverses out, which gives you a typical action that the ball is going to go left, we see the Titans react to that. So they're overflowing. So they must have saw on tape, hey, if we show them one thing, they're going to flow. So you see the linebackers flow left. What that allows is Bradbury to get up to this linebacker. We're going to see that there.
And they're really just setting up angles, right, for this play to ultimately hit on the other side of the formation.
Right. So you sell the weak side zone. Bradbury now gets, to your point, the angles. But they all know that this play is designed to come back here at the strength of the play where it's Hunter Henry and Morgan Moses on this double team up to the Mike linebacker, right? You know you have an advantage here with Mac Hollins. And what these receivers are always taught to do is go block force, right? Don't worry about the corner. If we get Rhamondre to the corner, it's a good play. And I thought it was just a really good way to start the game. Explosive run, a tone-setting type of run, digs, blocking. I mean, that's huge. We're talking about a guy who's known to go catch the ball, but I think what they're all seeing is this is about the team. And we've heard Vrabel talk about it. Go block longer than everybody else on the field. Don't let your guy be the guy who makes the tackle. So you get Rhamondre up to the second level. And, man, I was happy for Rhamondre, right? He's dealt with the fumbles. I thought he ran aggressively. I think there was a few weeks there he was more concerned about the ball security than he was running. You got to pair both, and I thought they did a good job getting him going. But ultimately, it was a mentality, and you could see it from the first play.
Yeah, and you saw it at the end of the first play. It's Garrett Bradbury, it's Hunter Henry, it's Morgan Moses, it's Mac Hollins. As you mentioned, you get him on the field to sort of get that size mismatch in the run game, and these guys are all finishing their blocks even after Stevenson is on the ground. One thing I wanted to ask you, Brian, when we first looked at this play and the structure of the defense, the Titans, it looked like had two safeties deep. Just talking to the players, I know, especially guys that are heavily involved in that run game, they have been lamenting the fact that, boy, all we see is single high, which means there's a safety in the box, which means there's an extra body in there that they have to try to take care of in order to make gains on the ground. How critical is it that maybe Drake May is passing so well that defenses are saying, I guess we got to play too high, and maybe it opens things up for their run game?
There's no doubt about it. Sometimes you always say the run game sets up the pass game. Well, sometimes it can work in the reverse, too. Drake May's throwing it so well, they say, we got to defend down here, especially because he's such a great deep ball thrower. And what that allows Josh to do is send in two-play packages. Hey, look, if they're in too high, go ahead and run it, buddy. But if they come down to single high, we're going to start taking our shots. So you get to see that type of what we would call an alerted play, right? Call a run, alerted with a pass, or vice versa. They have all different kinds of combinations. And what that allows you to do is run when you want to versus advantageous looks, throw it when you want to versus man or single high. And I think the one thing that needs to be noted is, you know, Todd Downing comes in and he's got this receiver group playing really well. Not just Diggs, not just Boutte. I love what Mac Hollins adds to this team. He's going to go in there and block. We saw a pop pass, play action pass, big gain earlier. It's a really good group, and you got to really love how they're working hard. We saw it in the locker room. They're playing for one another, and that makes them a dangerous team.
And when you're balanced and you can run the football, that helps everybody. It helps the receivers, helps the quarterback.
Presented by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow.